And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy here.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
so
fair.
You're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How do you do it? Teach me something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you gotta get the smile going on some shoes. But
Wait, hold up.
you got.
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time,
with
when,
you.
it, when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny
All
and start laughing.
do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
Just a sexy eye right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well out there. It is Tuesday. Some people like to call it a Monday part 2. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys are all doing well and enjoying your Tuesday. I see all the good morning wishes that are going on out here, and I really do appreciate it. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said before, we always need as much positivity as we can get nowadays, okay? It really does mean a lot for everybody. I see some people here that I haven't seen in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like Malia is in the house. She's saying Mr. Super. There's Mr. Super's in the house. I haven't seen him in a while. Haven't seen that in a long time, man. Mr. Super and everybody else that's in here. Good morning to all of you guys. I really do appreciate all y'all filing in and being a part of it. If you can, do me that solid, you know what I'm saying? That simple solid by hitting that like button down below. Send that positivity all the way up, okay? Send it straight through the roof, okay? You know, I know that a lot of us have to, like, get the ball rolling, you know what I mean? Wake up and get just life rolling today, because Monday is tough, but sometimes Tuesday can be really, really hard. But then Wednesday gets a little bit better, Thursday gets a lot more better, and then Friday is amazing because you know the week is over, so you can go and kick it with your friends. So please go hit that like button, send the love all the way up. All right, but anyway, I do have my brother in the house. T is in the house. We do not have David today, but T is in the house. How you doing, my man? What's good, bro?
I'm a bit tired this morning, but I'm happy to be up and running. You know what I'm saying?
We out here. We alive. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
right, that's
I
right.
played the world's smallest violin, playing the saddest song just for you. You know what I mean? Just because you tired. You know what I'm saying? I got
Appreciate
6
that.
jobs. I don't get tired. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie. I get really tired. What am I saying? But I feel you though. I feel you on that, man. You know what I mean? You been up? You okay? You
Yeah,
all right?
I'm just in my studies. It's finals week, so I'm just.
Oh yeah. You juggling a lot of balls in the right now.
Books,
A lot of books in the
research, papers, all that. But it's going to be a long week for me. So I'm just trying to keep my energy up.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Well, I mean, you know, I know that you won't be on tomorrow, so hopefully that's gonna give you a chance to sleep in a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get them Z's in, saw some logs. You know what I'm saying? You've heard that before, right? Sawing logs.
Some logs. I have not. That's funny.
Basically, you're snoring.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, you know what I mean? But I don't know why they make it sound like you're. I don't know why. It's not a chainsaw, more like a saw. You know what I'm saying?
Handsaw.
Like yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. We'll go with it. You know what I mean? We'll go with that. Why not?
It'll work. Yeah.
When is it all over for you? Just so everybody knows.
Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, so just this week, and then it's over.
Yeah.
And then you can celebrate.
I got a week off, and then back to my fall semester starts on the 23rd.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, dang, man. Okay, that's good. That's good. Well, then, we should just jump right into it because, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of things that were popping off yesterday that we didn't get the chance to talk about recently. So we got to talk about these things. We also have, I'm very excited about at the 10 o'clock hour, at the top of the 10 o'clock hour, we do have Benjamin Dixon of the Benjamin Dixon Show, or Like It or Not, on the show today. I'm very excited about it because we're going to be chopping it up with him about his show and what he has planned. Like, what's the trajectory of his show? What's his plans for the future for his show? I'm very excited about it. And of course, I have a little bit of a piece of conversation, a video I want to bring up and talk with him about specifically. Just do something a little different with him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm super excited about it. This dude is very, very well spoken, very talented, very intelligent. It's dope. I'm excited and I can't wait to have him on the show. But we got to jump into this story right now because we already know that Andrew Cuomo is in some serious hot water right now. We all know this, okay? We've been knowing this. But now one of his accusers has officially come out. One of his accusers officially has come out. And we got a little bit of a clip. We got to take a look at this because I find this is wild. To me, this is absolutely wild. We got to take a look at this. Let's hear it from one of the accusers' mouths. Let's go.
With Brittany Camiso, one of the 11 women who claim that New York Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed them. And it comes as the three-term Democrat faces a new crisis this morning after his top aide, Melissa DeRosa, announced she's resigning. And state legislators plan to meet today to discuss their impeachment investigation.
Now, really quick, I just want to say one of his aides has officially resigned. Just saying. This is not looking very good for Cuomo right now. Let's continue.
We should point out at the top here that Cuomo denies all allegations of misconduct and rejected new calls for his resignation after a scathing report from the state's attorney general.
Camiso, identified as executive assistant number 1 in the AG's report, has filed the first criminal complaint against Cuomo. In an exclusive interview with CBS This Morning and Albany's Time Union newspaper, Camiso says the governor gave her intimate hugs and kisses.
These were not hugs that he would give his mother or, his brother. These were hugs with the intention of getting some personal sexual satisfaction out of. Then they started to be hugs with kisses on the cheek. And then there was at one point a hug. And then when he went to go kiss me on the cheek, he quickly turned his head and he kissed me on the lips.
What did you say?
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything this whole time. People don't understand that this is the governor of the state of New York. There are troopers that are outside of the mansion. They are not there to protect me. They are there to protect him. I felt as though if I did something to insult him, especially insult him in his own home, it wasn't going to be him that was going to get fired or in trouble.
Did you ever have any consensual sexual activity with the governor of New York State?
No.
Is it possible that the governor thought that these interactions that he was having with you was something that was normal, something that he thought was not a big deal?
No. Maybe to him that he thought this was normal, but to me and the other women that he did this to, it was not normal. It was not welcomed, and it was certainly not consensual.
Wow. First off, I do appreciate. Now, of course, obviously, these accusers, these women that have been a victim to Governor. Funny that we say Governor Andrew Cuomo, not former Governor Andrew Cuomo, but the fact that he is still out here and there are women that are finally able to be brave enough to step forward and speak their truths. It's crazy how long it's taken, because we've been talking about this story for well over at least a year now, when all the accusations came out, and before, when it was just a Jane Doe or, anonymous person, accuser number one kind of thing. Now that we're actually getting more faces and names, it's painting a very interesting picture with everything right now. And it's about time someone like Brittany Cuomo, I think that's Cuomo. I think hopefully I'm not butchering her. Yeah, hopefully I'm not butchering her last name like that. But Brittany Cuomo, people like Brittany Cuomo who are actually finally stepping out of the shadows and actually saying, yes, he did these things to me. He did these crazy, unruly, and unwanted things to me. I mean, there was one thing that she says later on in the interview where she was like, hey, these were not hugs that you would give your mother. Real talk. And there's something about somebody who is in a position of power, right? That feels that they can do certain things like this, where they feel like they have the power, and they get comfortable. Because at some point, some woman fell into his web, fell into his grasp, and was able to do whatever he was able to do whatever he wanted with this particular woman. Why? Because of his position of power. He abused his power. He's still abusing his power. And that's really, really sad. T, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Exactly what you were saying. It's a sense of entitlement or privilege, per se, with people who have, power and, higher titles and the benefit of the doubt on their side. Like she said just now, I mean, he's the governor of New York, and will his security defend her? She's like, no, they're there to defend him. And no matter what he does, unless he's trying to kill somebody, I'm pretty sure they're going to turn ahead and go, hey, he's the boss here. And unfortunately, you see women like her, and I'm sure there's plenty more who are going to come out soon. They're going to band together and try their best to have him convicted. But this happens all the time, and unfortunately, it will happen in the future. And I was just put it out there. I mean, you have to tell somebody no immediately. Her saying that she was quiet this whole time, you can't do that. One thing about people who take advantage or bullies is they're going to keep doing what they want to do to you until you say no, until you fight back immediately. And unfortunately, this was allowed to go on, not only with her but with other women as well. And he felt like, hey, no one said no yet, or they didn't forcefully tell me to stop, so I want to keep doing it. And that all that does is fuel his ego, or people like that. So I wish he really would have, from the first moment she felt uncomfortable, told him no, stop, get some actual legal help immediately. Forget that job, quit. I mean, your dignity and your respect and your safety trumps all that. So for her to, I guess you can say, withstand all this abuse and trauma, unfortunately, has made things worse, I would say.
Yeah, it takes a special kind of person, right, to be willing to go the extra mile to do things to somebody you find attractive, right? Instead of just, well, one, understanding that you're in the workplace, and understanding that it's not a place where you go and pick up anybody. But the fact that, like I said, this is not his first rodeo. I'm sure if women are speaking about this right now, I'm sure that there are other women that have not even stepped up and said anything because of fear of whatever. Whether he put some sort of pressure on them when they said, I am going to speak out, I am going to say something, or because they realized the level of power that he is in, where they believe that no one will believe them, that they'll think that, oh, he's just lying, right? And it's sad that there isn't that level of comfortability, where a woman or person can step up and say their truth. Say that this particular person, this elected official, this person in a position of power did this heinous crime to me. The fact that they can't even step out without some sort of backlash is crazy. It's crazy. It's sad because, as much as we sit here all day long telling these stories, right? There's still somebody out there. There are many, many women and men out here that have not stepped up, that still do not feel brave enough to make their voices heard because of either being bullied, threatened, or just the sheer fear of being ridiculed and humiliated in the public eye. It's very sad. I feel like we are in a place now where we should be embracing people who step up, people who actually speak on something that was done to them. And I get it. There's a lot of people out here that are false, that make up false accusations and stuff. I know those do exist, but I feel like they're few and far between. I really do think that. It's just sad that we can't really speak on this or open up and talk and have those open discussions, open conversations, especially when you have somebody who is running a part of running our country, a part of running a state. The fact that you can't even step up and say, hey, it's just, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible to me. And like I said, there are many other women. I guarantee you there are many other women aside from Brittany and a couple other women that have come out publicly to speak out on this before, in the past year that we've talked about it. I guarantee you there's other women that have been wanting to say something, but maybe feel the same way as she's saying. Just fear, straight up fear of something happening to them. Suddenly they just disappear and never show up again type thing. That's a terrifying thought. Terrifying thought for sure. Malia Carr just said the workplace is not a sleazy nightclub. Even then, you can't get away with that behavior. Absolutely. I totally agree. Now, the funny thing is here's the other question I want to pose or throw up here real quick. You know what I'm saying? And Malia, thank you so much for the comment all the way from Australia. I do appreciate that. Now, the question I have is this. Don't they have security cameras everywhere? You know what I'm saying? Throughout every single place? Aren't there video? Wouldn't there be video showing him doing said things? Wouldn't there? At least a little bit? A little bit?
I mean, in his mansion, personal mansion? Is that what you were?
I'm not saying not in his mansion, but okay. I'm saying as far as, offices, all that. I mean, I'm sure it's not only in his private domicile that he's doing these, where he's committing these crimes. You see what I'm saying? You do it once or you do it and you get away with it. You get comfortable. You start doing it more. You see what I'm saying? To the point where you're just doing it. everywhere. It doesn't matter. You're just trying to cop a feel or, you know, do a little bit, you know, do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? You get comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he was probably calling her in to somewhere where there was no cameras at all. You know, I'm pretty sure he was being really sleazy about it. You know, he summoned you to his den or whatever, you know, so I'm pretty sure, you know, he's probably trying to cover himself up. But we already know there is emails and cell phone messages, so I think that they have proof. I just don't know how much is actually on camera.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, but when you have the Attorney General, Letitia James, coming out and saying, hey, we are seeing, we have incriminating evidence of him doing said acts, that says a lot too, right? So it's more than just him, you know, allegedly doing so and so. There's apparently text messages, footage on phones of him doing said things. It's insane. Now, somebody just said something. I needed to pull this up really quick. There we go. Truth Speak said, I honestly do not believe he is this dumb. This all seems political to me. Now, that could thank you so much for the comment. Now, that could very well be it too. This could very well be just an attempt on a little something, right? This could be political as hell. This could be fueled politically all day long. But I don't know. You just find 11 plus women that are willing to put their names out there, accuse him of something like this. I don't know. I feel like it takes a lot for someone to step up and say something, say their truth. So why lie about something like this? You know, it's kind of the whole thing of like, it's kind of the whole thing of the Bill Cosby or the R. Kelly situation. You know, yes, sure. I'm sure that there are some people in there that are fabricating their truths, fabricating the stories a little bit, but there's some that are telling truths. You can't tell me all women that are accusing Governor Cuomo of doing said act, all of them are lying. I don't know. I just don't. I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like that is fully 100% what's going on here. He done a very bad thing politically during the time, you know, that we were dealing with stuff during lockdown and whatnot. The things that he did, the lying, the math. Let's just be real. You know, he was not carrying the one when he was supposed to be carrying the one. He was actually dividing it, everything by two kind of thing. You feel me? Yeah, he did a lot of bad things. He did a very, 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 very bad thing. But then at the same time, though, I feel like that's enough to get him to tarnish his name and get him in trouble. Why throw this on and then pay a whole bunch of women to lie? I just feel like that's far-fetched. What do you think, T? I think hella far-fetched, man.
There's always the phrase, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. Right. So there's definitely, you know, truths here. It's just that you got to weed out, you know, how much of it has actually happened versus how much you actually can prove. And it's always the case. You know, there's a football player right now, Deshaun Watson, 22 cases of sexual misconduct with his masseuses, you know, like, and there's no criminal case at all. It's all civil. So, you know, I guess it's all about what you can prove. Or are there some women saying, oh yeah, I met him and we had an evening together, but nothing happened. But let me jump into this lawsuit so I can get some money out of it.
Scoop this bag up.
Scoop the bag up, yeah. So like, yeah, it's always going to be trying to figure out people's actual agenda. You know, we don't know. I mean, we really don't know everything behind the scenes. And unfortunately, we never actually uncover everything behind the scenes. But again, if all these women are coming out saying that something happened, or they were, they felt like he was sexually, taking advantage of them, then
Yeah.
something probably happened. It's just how deep did it go is the question. Was it criminal? Did it violate any sexual or workplace policies? Was it consensual? All those things come into play. And that's the hardest part about it, is trying to figure out, what was the exact thing that happened. Did she say yes the first time and say no later on? Because that happens a lot too, where they may go later on because they don't like the way it escalates. Maybe he got rougher the next time. So those things also happen. So it's really hard to weed out the truth behind all these things happen behind the scenes.
Yeah. And here it is. Because I'm seeing some people's comments and everything. And listen, I'm not trying to say that I didn't mean that it's far-fetched, right? Yes, there's a lot of people that could easily lie to scoop a bag, right? To secure them bags and make it the monies. I haven't said that in a long time. But anyway, I do think that it's just questionable, right? These questions pop up. You keep wondering how true, how real are these things, right? To me, it just seems a little bit of a stretch with that many women coming in all at the same time to lie. I don't know. Like I said, it just, to me, does not make, I don't think that it's I don't think it's a reason or an excuse to lean on. Because then you're basically saying that women who step forward and say that they have been sexually assaulted or sexually abused, then suddenly now you got to start asking questions about that. I just think that it turns into something very, very sticky. It becomes a very messy situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. Like, there was a case that happened at Duke University maybe about 7 years ago or so, where the Duke lacrosse team men were all accused, like in a frat party, of raping a girl, and it turned out to be false. The entire thing, like, they didn't rape her at all. There was no evidence of it, but they all went through the whole criminal case, and they lost their scholarships. I mean, they lost job opportunities. I mean, they were really slandered badly in the public, and it was a lie. She was not raped. But it happens a lot. I mean, you don't know until everything it actually is, uncovered and analyzed. And but it's easier for anyone that we perceive as someone who's believable or like a possible victim to gain attention. People do the craziest things. People's agendas can all be trusted. There's a lady who this past week came under fire for saying that she was a survivor from the 60-something floor of the Twin Towers, and it was a lie. After 20 years, that's a lie. They found out that she was lying the whole time. So people have agendas, and not saying that this woman here or the other victims of Cuomo are lying, but we have to definitely make sure that the ones who are telling the truth get their justice and get their victory, and those who are not, who are trying to latch on, are disqualified from anything to do with this, or because these things do happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you're right. Those things do happen. Those stories do exist. There are people out here that will say one thing when it never happened, and all that. I mean, shoot, let's just, there's plenty of accusers out here that have lied. Let's just be straight funky.
Think about it.
A little history lesson for you guys. Hold up. A little history lesson for you guys. Emmett Till. Perfect example. Woman said that she was being, that she was taken advantage of or approached by Emmett Till. the husband and a couple other men savagely killed this man, killed this young man. He had an open casket. The mother had an open casket so the world could see what those men did to Emmett Till. And then many, many decades later, on her deathbed, the woman who accused Emmett Till of doing these things, right before she died, she said that whole thing was fabricated. That whole thing was not true. So, yeah, there are some savages out here for real. There really are. And I get it. But at the same time, I feel like, I don't know. This seems strange to me. T, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to mention like the Juicy Smollett case in Chicago.
Juicy.
Like this whole thing was made up. If things happen. I mean, unfortunately.
It most definitely was fabricated. Yeah. I mean, come on. You can't tell me that it wasn't fabricated. Okay. Anybody who thinks that was real,
Subway?
Nothing. And then he had a rope around his neck that looked like dental floss, and he was saying that they were like, it just doesn't compute. To me, it just doesn't compute. No disrespect to anybody that thinks otherwise, but nothing added up in that story. Nothing. But yeah, Mr. Super just said something that's hella true. Yeah, MAGA hats. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Throwing bleach on him and everything. It just doesn't work for me. But even Mr. Super, shout out to fam right there. Mr. Super, Central Park 5, perfect example as well. I mean, there are people out here there are stories that are out here that do actually exist. But Andrew Cuomo, no. I don't know. Like I said, they have a lot of, unless all that footage and the text messages and whatnot are all like have been doctored or messed with, photoshopped or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just seems like not a far-fetched. Let me say that again. Just seems like a stretch to me. That's all. On Andrew Cuomo. And then when you have the Attorney General, Letitia James, doing her due diligence, diving into every single thing, and then coming out publicly saying, yes, we are charging him. He's going to go to court. He's going to be in trouble. It says to me that she found some stuff herself. Not just going, hey, we're going on just he said, she said. She found incriminating evidence showing that he did some very, very bad things to these women. From my understanding, 11. Right?
Yeah, 11, I believe.
So 11. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, seems strange. Now, when it comes to Deshaun Watson, that whole situation, the fact that it's not going to criminal, it's just civil.
Yeah, they're trying to settle out of court.
That seems a little fishy to me. That seems a wee little bit fishy to me. Wouldn't you think? Just seems a little fishy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't do anything wrong. I think he definitely would cross the line. He was exposing himself. And all that. But I guess they figure it's easier to get a bag than to be identified in court and go over a criminal trial that takes a lot longer time to settle. So, who knows?
Yeah.
But, Cuomo, I mean, they do have evidence for this. They do have actual evidence of him crossing that line or sending explicit messages to women. So that's part of it. But he also has to be convicted of the sexual misconduct as well.
Yeah. Like I said, it is a crazy thing, right? It is a crazy thing. This whole story, everything that's going down, and all that. And hold up, I do have a super chat, and I think I was wrong when I said that. Kellen Bryant is still alive. Fold DPD1. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I could have sworn that she passed. But that's my bad. That is my bad. But but from my understanding, she did finally confess to saying she admitted that the things that were said about Emmett Till were not true. And so, yeah, of course, it's still a terrible story, still a terrible situation that has happened. That still was out here. This story was being told forever. The men that savagely murdered that young man were sent to trial and they were found not guilty. I mean, that's insane. To me, that's insane. A very public trial, but they were found not guilty. And then all the while, that whole story was not true. It was a lie. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me. But these are the true stories that are out here. Now, when it comes to this situation, obviously only time will tell. But like I said, I mean, whether where you stand on the situation, that's really up to you. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with having those opinions and those thoughts. If you think that these women that are coming, these accusers that are stepping out are false and they're not telling the truth, then I mean, hey, that is your choice. For me, I choose to stand on the side of the truth, or stand on the side of that they are telling the truth. That's just my own personal opinion, and I think that there's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be very polarizing. Some people are thinking that this is all politically motivated, which I think there's a piece in there for sure. There's a piece in there, but I also do think that these women were abused, were sexually assaulted, sexually abused by a man that was in a position of power, and he abused that power. That's what I truly and honestly believe. But we got to jump into this next story, and this is a video. Trust me, we're going into more lighthearted conversations here right after this video. I promise you that. But we gotta go into this video. There's this viral video that's been going around like crazy, where a black man is getting beaten up by the cops. And the funny thing is that they're arresting him already, but this one cop just keeps pummeling him in the face. We got to take a look at this video. Let's take a look.
Come on, man. Hey, Mo. Back up. Why you punching? Why you punching? Why you punching? Why you punching? No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Why you hit him? Why you hit him? Man, why you hit him? Man, what's up? Right now! Yeah! Hey! Start some more units over here. Hey, Jesse, back, back!
Unbelievable.
Y'all, man, wild for hitting him in his face. He wild. He wild. He wild. Your man wrong,
Absolutely insane.
Your man wrong. Your man wrong. No, y'all wasn't. No, y'all wasn't. No, y'all wasn't. Y'all stole it.
All right. I'm just going to roll this back a little bit because I feel like we need to see a little bit more of this in the beginning. Now, the thing is that with this particular fight, right? You don't think that somebody's whacking you in the face with their elbow, you're not going to put your hand up in defense? I'm just saying that out loud. These guys are doing what they need to do. These cops are doing what they need to do to arrest this man. But at the same time, why is this other cop elbowing him in the face? Why he dropping the bows on him? Real talk. Why? I'm not gonna play the audio, but let's take a look at this again one more time. Look at it. He's punching him, elbowing him in the face. What is the reason behind this, y'all? Why is he doing this? And look, the only reason why the man pulls up and the only reason why this man pulls up his hands is to protect himself from getting hit in the face. What's the reason behind this, y'all? Real talk. The most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And this is okay? This is okay, guys. Like I said, welcome to the world that we live in right now. In the world that we live in right now, some of these cops are running around acting like they're just, like it's the Wild Wild West. They're just a bunch of cowboys. Feeling like they have their own, they got their own vengeance. They got a vendetta against somebody. Just because if this guy just talked out his ass, if he said some stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? If he just talked it up and he was just, you know what I mean? Just spitting out words at this cop. This man doesn't deserve to be punched in the face. The hell is this, y'all? T, what are your thoughts on this, man?
It's a recurring nightmare. It's always the same thing. This is what we've been programmed to accept. At least, I mean, not for myself, but as the norm of policing or over-policing in certain communities. And this video can be shown 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years from now. We don't know what year it's going to be because it's always the same outcome.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Exactly, T.
So I don't know, I don't know what else to say anymore. I'm happy he didn't get shot and killed because we see that often as well. But, for once, and this is what I wish would have happened during George Floyd, people are stepping up to help save this man from getting pummeled, which is great. It's from my perspective, and I'm not trained in law enforcement, we have two cops on both sides who have this man's arms secured pretty much. And a third cop is punched him in the face repeatedly. So I'm assuming they want him to turn around and be handcuffed. That's probably the reason why he's punched him in the face. That still wasn't training. That's not part of training.
Right.
You don't beat somebody in the face to put handcuffs on. I mean, and I don't see the man resisting. I just see he just, maybe he's not complying, as they say, but he's not resisting arrest. He's just standing there. So for him to get punched in the face that many times is ridiculous. And it's not part of you would say, securing the suspect properly. They're just trying to beat him down to get him to do whatever they want him to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
The charges, we don't know what happened. We're not sure why they're there. Is a warrant for his arrest? We don't know anything. All we do see is this man being secured by two cops and a third cop repeatedly punched him in the face. Exactly. Even when he turned around in the other direction, he's punched him in the face with an uppercut or haymaker. It's like, this is totally why the Black community, specifically gets so outraged, at policing like this. This is where this is the divide, and this keeps the divide happening, that becomes political. And and unfortunately, we are seeing this happen on both sides. We're seeing cops get hurt, unfortunately, and we see civilians get hurt, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a balance somewhere within the system where people can have a conversation and talk about whatever's going on and try to have a remedy to it and not get to violence immediately. But there's so much tension and there's so much divide and there's so much lack of empathy, so much lack of someone being human, that people are just reacting to each other. And this is what we're seeing here is fire fighting fire. Rather someone killing a cop, hurting a cop, or somebody hurting or killing a civilian or a criminal, depending. I'm not sure his background. I don't know his record.
Yeah, we don't know.
But there's a way of doing things. Should every criminal be killed on the streets? No. That's why we have a system where of lawyers and courts and judges. I mean, that's the whole point of the system. It's not Judge Dredd,
Yeah.
So there has to be the fine line somewhere within the system, and police officers have to start doing more community police work where they're hands on in the community, where that cop by his name or his face, and there should be a way where we can just have these conversations before someone just goes, "Oh, cops are here," and starts being defensive. There should be some kind of community construction that's being built that bridges this gap between the blue lives and the black lives, or the haves and have-nots, or the powerful and the powerless, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to build the system up where there's some kind of trust, there's some kind of feeling of security in these neighborhoods. But it's not, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it is not. We don't live in this time where there is a moment where people kind of take a breath or where a cop like this right now walks away from the situation. Like I said before, we don't know the full scope of the story right now. We don't know why this is happening. We don't know why this person is hitting this person like this. We don't know. All we know is what we see in this video. We don't know what happened before, and we definitely don't know what happens after. But at the same time, these men are holding him down while they're trying to arrest him. The other cop comes in and just starts punching him in the face. Where's the justice in that? Was it because he said something to him? Was it because he ran off? He had to chase him down. How dare this guy run away? We had to chase him down a couple blocks. Man, I'm pissed. Punching him in the face. Where is the justice in this particular video? To me, it looks like a gang fight. Like they caught up, like a bunch of bullies in high school, holding down this kid while the big kid gets to get a few licks in. This is absolutely ridiculous to me, guys. And then this is why this question that keeps popping up. Who is watching the police? Who is policing the police? Because things like this should not be happening. And like I said, doesn't matter if that man gave that particular officer a good tongue lashing. Doesn't matter. You are there to serve and protect. Know when to strike, know when not to strike. Know to have a level head during moments of chaos. And look, you see a cop that can't even control his own temper. And he's out here in these streets right now, y'all. Anyway, T, I want to say thanks for being on. I'll see you guys. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
Okay, man. See you in a minute. I am very, very excited, okay, to have this particular gentleman on the show. I've been wanting to get him on for a very, very long time. This man is amazing and is dope as hell. And he has a really, really great show called The Benjamin Dixon Show, or Like It or Not. Please welcome my brother, Benjamin Dixon, to the show. What's up, man? How you doing, my brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. So glad to be here, brother.
Man, tell you something. I don't mean to geek out right now, but I'm super hyped that you're on, man. Real talk.
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here, bro. I'm looking at your setup. I'm listening to your analysis. I'm looking at the quality of your camera. You got this thing popping over here, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Coming from you, that really means a lot. Real talk. You know what I'm saying?
I love how black men big up each other. That's what's
Come on, man. Come on with it. Yes. Thank you. Oh, and shout out to Chuck Diesel.
My man.
Our brother Chuck Diesel, because he's a mod over here. I know he's a mod on your channel, on your show as well.
That's right. Yeah.
And,
Brother Chuck Diesel, the hardest working man on the internet,
man,
ain't
I'm telling you, man, he's everywhere. That man, omnipotent. Okay,
omnipresent. That's what he is. He everywhere.
He everywhere. Okay. But real quick, I wish we were able to see your face. I know that you're in the middle of like traveling and everything right now, right?
Yeah, I'm traveling, documenting what's going on with the Amazon workers, but I'm also doing a couple of things that I would put in the category of the spectacle. The real work is not the stuff that the algorithm is going to give you clicks for. So it's very difficult. Anyone who's done real work organizing will tell you it's not glamorous and it's not well funded. So I'm out in the streets doing both, man. I'm trying to help as many people as I can with our platform and sharing their stories. And then on the flip side, I'm going to start pulling up on some of these evangelicals and some of these Republicans that are out of their minds. And we're going to put on a little show.
Facts. I love that, man. I love that. So let's go back, like, if you don't mind, because I do have a little video, because I wanted to get your commentary on something, and it's something you won't expect. It's not police brutality. It's a complete left turn. But I figured it'd be nice, a little vacation for you, because I know that you've been doing the Amazon abuse, hashtag Amazon abuse. That's been going on, which I'd love to tap into a little bit with you as well. So there's a lot to talk about. And
I'm with you, man.
I would love to know a little bit more about your show. You know, what inspired you to get in front of the camera, in front of the mic, and do the Benjamin Dixon show?
Honestly, it had to be somewhere between Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown. I knew that I was going to explode if I didn't start saying what I felt like I needed to say. And so somewhere in between those two flashpoints, with the impetus came to start the show.
That's what's up. Because I know it was like a clickbaity, right?
Yeah. So actually, well, no, there's a clickbaity is my boys, Marcus Farrell and Mundell Robinson. Squirrel Gang. Shout out to everybody in the chat room who's with Squirrel Gang. So Clickbaity is a show that they created. Clickbaity was something that they created, and it was and it still goes. Oh, matter of fact, they are live every morning, I believe. Well, so Clickbaity is normally live every morning, Tuesday and Thursday, and it's before our show. I think they're live at 7 a.m. or 6:45 a.m. They get up early and do it. But Marcus has had some. He's coming back from a recovery of a surgery, and so they're taking some time off. But Clickbaity, we used to do that show together. We don't do it together right now, but it does look like in the future we're going to find some way that for Three Kings to reign together.
I love it because you know that's how I saw you first.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nah, man, we've been in I took it back to I started the show, the Benjamin Dixon show, back in 2000 and I guess 14 or 15. And it started off as just a podcast from my bedroom. And it was the Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin that really kind of told me that I had to create a platform so my voice could be heard, but then also other people's voices could be heard.
Right. No, because I love the format. I love your format that you have now. I mean, I love the format beforehand too. I mean, that's how I got hip to you. What you were doing and everything. And then I was watching that show for a while. And then of course, you guys flipped the script and changed the format, the look, the layout, the new co-hosts and everything.
Oh yeah. So we can walk that transition a little bit because we're in a lot of there are stages when people meet you, and where they meet you is generally how they have a first understanding of you, right? So I can totally dig it. If the first time you saw me was on Clickbaity, then these are great questions that you're asking. And the band broke up. We did break up. But we never lost touch with each other. That's and a matter of fact, I'm able to call Marcus and Mundell anytime I need to, and they're able to call me anytime they need to. So while the band broke up, the reunion tour is going to be pretty dope.
I love it. No, I'm super hype about that, man, because like I said, it's great to see the band get back together and play a few tunes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because those are some smart brothers, man. Let me tell you, two of the sharpest brothers in the game is Marcus Farrell and Mundell Robinson. I tell you that.
Yeah, no, I know, and sharp dressed too. You know
yeah, I can't keep up. I said, let me just put a blazer on. I can't keep up with these brothers.
Right. You know, hey, nothing wrong with a nice button up and a blazer. You good to go. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that beard is tight. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah,
Facts.
You understand what
yeah, no, bro. My barber was like, I went to a barber for the first time because they're vaccinated and I'm vaccinated, and they were like, brother, don't you ever go out there like this again. So you're right.
Like, it's all messed up. They're like, we got to cut it all the way down and let you and regrow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've had that happen before. They're like, yo, this is all jacked up. You need to start all over again. Just start all over again. Start from scratch. Looking like a baby Huey up in this piece. But so now you have the new show, Like It or Not. Yeah. And you have the new cast of characters and co-hosts and all that, which has been really, really great. Loving the DJ in between during intermissions and all that. Yeah, man, it's dope as hell. And you got your fellow. I'm Haitian, so you got your fellow Haitian.
Oh, Rebecca Azor. Yeah, I know you're a Haitian brother.
Yeah, I'm Haitian.
All right. You know what I mean? We got to bring you on the show so y'all could have a little argument in Creole.
Honestly, I'd be honored to be on the show. You know that for a fact. So
let's make it happen.
I'm fully down to cut it up and act a damn fool on your show. That'd be fun. But so what is the plan? What's the future of Like It or Not? The Ben Dixon show.
Yeah, man. So, man, I'm glad we're having this conversation now, because honestly, anyone who's on the team will tell you that we've come through a season of creative chaos, where we just Pascal, you do this show because you mean what you say.
And I say what I mean,
and you say what you mean. Politics for you isn't a career; it's your life, right? Because these are like you and the brother who were just on discussing the implications of that video, and then that is a political conversation. So, Black folks, as we do this work, we do it as a matter of survival.
Word.
And so, from that vantage point, our show is a representation of that same type of survival process, because we did this completely. We created this show completely out of a labor of love. We created like what you see, Like It or Not. We even have On the Clock with Georgia Fort, who starts us off at 8 in the morning. And then we have Professor Carl Mack, who's our historian. Yes. All of this that came together, honestly, and the team is, I'm having to be extra kind to the team now, because we did not know where we were going as we threw everything at the wall and started solidifying. This is the most organic show that could possibly come out of the algorithm, because most of us found each other through these search engines. Like you and I, we connected through the search engines, but it is a very organic show. And everyone has their part. Georgia Fort, she's an investigative independent journalist, and she's in the streets like I am. She covered what's happening in Minneapolis, George Floyd, the protest, the murder. She was in the courtroom for the trial, and she was in the courtroom when Derek Chauvin was sentenced. Wow. She was one of 2 reporters, and she's on our team. She's on our squad. Then you have Professor Carl Mack, who is a former president or chairperson, I don't know the exact terminology, I might get it wrong, but of the National Association of Black Engineers, NSBE. He's an engineer, but he's also a historian, formerly of the NAACP. And then you have DJ Exclusive, my brother from another mother. We go back 20 years, and he's the realest brother. But he's also like Rick Ross, but a teddy bear at the same time, man. And he cares for our audience. He takes care and nurtures them. And then our Haitian sister, Rebecca Azor, the international sensation, who has an emotional intelligence that is like Einsteinian. The way she can dissect things from an emotional perspective. And so it just happened, and here we are.
Yeah. It's incredible how how your A team. You know what I'm saying? It has come together, because I know, where you were before and where you are now is drastically different. As far as just the faces and the talent and the intellect that's actually coming in, the brain power, that's into the show. Not throwing any shade on Clickbaity. I thought they were fantastic.
Oh
too.
no, man. Hey, listen,
It's a smattering of, like, it's a cornucopia of just different attitudes and energies, but you guys are all working in this crazy cohesive manner that's really, really great. And then also you're waxing political, right? But you keep it fun, you keep it light. You got to talk about that heavy shit. Let's be real, there's that heavy stuff you got to talk about, but you still find a way to keep it light and keep it entertaining. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
I watch almost every single day.
Oh man, that's awesome.
As much as I can, because my show is literally, mine is at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So
so we got that last half hour overlap.
Yeah, so I missed that last part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm always watching, checking out what you guys are doing, what you guys are talking about, etc. But the fact that you have all that black intelligence, black thought that's going.
Well, I'm proud, bro. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm proud to know that people that immediately after our show, Chuck Diesel and the crew, they come over to your show.
Sound like it. Dope. It's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice, like, cross-pollination thing going on.
That's the word of the century, man. Cross-pollinating. Yeah.
Cross-pollinate. You know what I mean? We all got to work together. You know what I mean? We all got to lift each other up, and it's not a competition. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you came over to my show, my little channel, really means a lot, because I know
you know what? Next time I come, I'm gonna close out the show and tell everybody to come with me. But we didn't do that this time, and that's my bad, because I thanks to David for making sure everything came together. But so again, thanks for having me, man.
No, anytime, man. Anytime. So real quick, please explain to me a little bit about this. And I do have a video clip, if that's all right.
Okay.
I want to throw that in here and hear your thoughts on it. Like I said, it's complete left turn. Just be ready for it. But
That's right.
I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this abuse Amazon, or
Amazon abuse. Yeah. Hashtag
right.
Amazon abuse. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Please, I'm with you. Let's wherever you want to go.
You're out here doing that and covering that stuff, covering that story and everything. So please, tell me a little bit about this.
I was traveling back from Ohio's 11th district. I guess it was almost 2 weeks ago now. And on my way back, I stopped in a town to get some gas. And at that gas station, it was swarming with Amazon Prime trucks. And now here's the thing. This honestly could be anywhere in the country where you have Amazon factories and Amazon delivery outposts. And so I have seen this swarm before, and what it is all the truck drivers, all the delivery drivers, as they leave the Amazon warehouses, they go to the closest gas station to gas up. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Everybody, that's how you find what I found. So you go to that. I went to that gas station, and it was a majority black community. And brother, like, this is our first time speaking, but you see, like, I mean, if we need to, we can talk about anything we need to, because we have that common bond. So it became eminently easier to do the investigation when I was able to drop that code switching that is comfortable for the colonizers and be able to speak to our brothers. And they were ready to talk. And so I captured, and some sisters and some non-gender conforming individuals. I captured a lot of audio interviews, and we're going to just be releasing it as we get time to organize it and as we dig into the story more. But there's a lot here, not just about the them having to pee in bottles. The impetus, the reason I knew, my suspicion was, with that many trucks at that gas station, I was going to stumble onto some that had who had to pee in bottles. The fact of the matter is 7 of the 8 drivers that I interviewed actually either had a bottle on them or had used a bottle. One even said that they had to defecate in their vehicles because there's no restroom facilities anywhere on their routes that they have access to, and because they have to they have so many packages that they have to deliver every hour. There's literally no time for them to find a place to use the restroom.
Jeez. See, what's funny to me is that, or what's crazy to me is that there's been conversations I've had on this show too with ex-employees, former employees that have been working inside the warehouse where that story was that was the ongoing thing. Gatorade bottles, he would say, just Gatorade bottles just sitting everywhere, just filled with urine. I've also heard stories about people having to defecate when the going gets rough. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so wild to me that this is something that's still occurring.
Yeah,
they've brought this to light for a while, but it
that's
seems
right.
on getting like snuffed. I don't know what's going on.
How is it, my brother? How is it that we can know that there's an entire portion of our community that is having to live and work in substandard conditions? You know how it is?
Yeah.
I just asked, and now I have an answer. It's because we all want our toys delivered on time.
We're also buying a whole bunch of crap that we don't really need. But obviously, there's something called boredom.
Yeah, that's part of it too, right? We are in a pandemic, so we gotta give ourselves a break.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like the demand, the supply and demand is so high that these delivery drivers, these people that are working in the warehouse, I mean, the fact that they're on such a tight schedule to the point where they have to urinate in a bottle off to the side just so they can go back and do the work is just it's beyond me. It just doesn't make any sense. So what is the goal for you, like to just bring more awareness to this, make this a hashtag Amazon abuse go viral type of thing, or is this like a much bigger project that's turning into like a documentary type of thing? What
remember that creative chaos thing I said?
Yes. Yeah.
So I literally did just pull off the side of the road and said, there's a story here. So we're still piecing it together, but that's why I'm so glad I've surrounded myself with a lot of good team members. Georgia Ford, she's been doing this kind of work for years. So she's kind of like my North Star, helping me decide the best moves in terms of how to get to maximize this, because what we can't afford to happen is, see, when we heard about the pee bottles, brother, we should have did something about it. And we didn't. And you asked, how is it continuing to happen? I hope sincerely that seeing the pee bottles will trigger a different response across the country, such that we will make a demand on Amazon. It doesn't require that Amazon is destroyed. It doesn't require that their stock plummets. But I'm not opposed to either one of those, to be sure. But there's an easy fix here. Just secure bathroom locations at all of these places where your Amazon drivers have to pass through. If there's a gas station, make the arrangement. Just make the arrangement. It costs you nothing but the time for your staff to make the phone calls and make the arrangements. It's an easy fix.
It is an easy fix. And it's funny because while we're sitting here talking about this and saying how unjust it is, we got Bezos shooting his ass out into space. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And he's living his best life. He's having a great time. He got nothing to worry about. Yet he's
Wait
got.
a minute. Are you Haitian and you sing, brother?
Yeah, I sing. Yeah.
You just got me on this show so I could connect you with. Wait, I don't know your status. Let me stop. I might be messing you up here. Finish your rant, brother. Rebecca.
Oh, I am engaged.
Go ahead. Let me stop before my sister call me and cuss me out. Go ahead, man.
But on some real stuff, it's crazy that you got this guy, Space Cowboy, right? Having his best life, enjoying his time. But then you got people out here that are working so that they can make ends meet, pay their rent, keep the roof over their head, keep the power on, and they got to go and pee in bottles. How dehumanizing is that? Like I said before, it's beyond me, and it's something that just does not make any bloody sense to me at all whatsoever. And let me know when that does come out, when you do actually, when you figure out what you're going to do with it, of course.
Well, what's great, just to give you the heads up, what's great is I have such a vast pool of colleagues who have like extensive investigative journalism skills. My skill set is, I blend in pretty good in any Black community. So I'm going to go and get these stories, and I'm working with a team of folks in the background now, including Georgia Ford and some other people that I can't name, who are going to help us sift through everything that we find. We don't know if there's going to be anything bigger. I don't want to set too high of an expectation, because you don't really know where you're going when you start a journey that doesn't have a clear destination, but we'll figure out what happens along the way.
Yeah, man, fingers crossed. And let me know when you figure it all out. I'd love to be able to be in the forefront and push the push the good word out there, you know, to bring awareness to what you're doing right now. You know what I mean,
brother? I love it. Yeah,
yeah,
thanks,
man.
Appreciate
You know, we all got to work. We all got to help each other out, right? You know what I
That's
mean?
right. That's
One
right.
the other. But real quick, I wanted to hear your thoughts on this particular video. Like I said, it is a complete left turn.
Okay.
It is not heavily political, but it is kind of it's on kind of like a relationship thing, I guess. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. And like I said, I wanted to do something fun with you instead of being like, you know,
Thank you.
brutality. You know what I'm saying? Do something different. So
you must watch me enough to realize I need some laughter in my life. Let's get it.
so here's the thing. Okay, Nick Cannon. Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I knew
Which
it.
baby mama we talking about? No, go ahead.
Exactly. So he was on the Breakfast Club. All right. He was talking about some stuff, putting in his 2 cents about, you know, how he has these different baby mamas, right? And he had a lot to say about it. So I wanted to play the clip, and I wanted to hear your thoughts on this particular story. So here we go.
Why so many? Just you got so many too. I got 5 and 1 on the way, so I'm gonna have 6, but I'm stopping there.
Really?
I'm gonna stop.
Are you sure? Is it the beauty of fatherhood, man? When you really talk about like the essence of living in as a father too, man. I've learned so much just from my children, man. Like, and it's so amazing. And I really just love being around my kids and just that youthful energy. It feels like you get to relive every time.
All the time. I love that.
And I think because, you know, I've been through so much in my life, you know, physically, mentally, and spiritually, like the best place that I find is the time that I spend with my kids and the energy, and to get as much of that as possible, to pass on, you know, all that I've lived into something else. That's why I do it, man.
It's not the number of kids, though. I guess people question the different baby mothers. That's what.
Well, why do people question that? I mean, because that's a Eurocentric concept when you think about the ideas of like you're supposed to have this one person for the rest of your life, and really that's just a classified property.
Man, get me off this show.
We go into that mindset if we really talking that talk, like just the idea that a man should have one woman. We shouldn't have anything. I have no ownership over this person. Like if we're really talking about how we coexist and how we populate, it's about what exchange can we create together. So I've never really subscribed to that mentality. You know what I mean? I understand the institution of marriage and stuff, but if we go back to what that was about, that was the classified property. That was because a father gave another man his daughter for land. So when you really get to that concept, it's like, all right, well, we got to change all of this up because I don't want ownership over anybody. I don't have ownership of any of the mothers or like we create families in that sense that we created a beautiful entity. So I get into it because I don't, you know, those are the concepts that a lot of people, because we're so indoctrinated into it, like we have to have it this way. I'm not, you know, I don't subscribe to that. I actually think women are blessing us. Those women and all women are the ones that open themselves up to say, I would like to allow this man in my world, and I will birth this child. So it ain't my decision. I'm following suit. So
women,
I respect that game you running on them ladies.
Wow, Nick, that's what you spitting.
All right, so
man, get me off this show. I'm looking. I plead the 5th.
Oh, now you plead the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. You really are,
brother. I'm looking. Here's the only problem with his logic.
Okay, thank you. Let's go.
I gotta find something. Good luck finding. Well, here's the thing. Let's break it down. Nick Cannon can afford 7 baby mamas.
Thank you.
Let's start there, right? And I guess there's a level of living in finances where you make your own changes, and the women that he's dealing with in that same category, they probably have, you know, I don't know if they have comparable finances. I don't know what they have, but there's always this expectation that the women are there for a handout when in fact they could be there for an exchange. Why would they need a father to trade them for land when they can make their own business deal? So I'm looking for the lie, except I'm looking for the lie in what Nick said, because I couldn't find one except the fact that that's above my pay grade, because my wife ain't having none of that.
Yeah, you can. You're like, wait, but baby, I'm making millions of dollars. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
I need to spread my seed. You know,
I
what I'm
got
saying?
my royal oats.
Yeah, yes. So your royal oats. Now,
Your highness is your royal penis is clean, your highness.
now, what's crazy to me is that now here it is. I feel like this is every deadbeat dad's excuse. Like they can literally copy and paste this and go, well, see, that Eurocentric ideals is just kind of wrong. You got it all twisted, man. Like we don't live in that kind of society. I mean, us as kings and queens, we didn't live like that back in the day. That just turns into a really, really good excuse for any dude who just wants to be knocking the boots every
You know what I
year.
mean?
You see what
Look,
I'm saying?
Listen,
go
listen,
ahead.
brother. There is also the principle. I think it's a biblical principle that in terms of King Solomon, I think some of the biblical justification of it is that a king could marry as many women. And this is somebody in the comment section. But the justification was you only had as many as you could provide for.
Yes.
In the Bible days, they were actually talking about ownership of women. And this is what Nick was referring to, that Eurocentric medium of exchange where they would sell their children. They called it marriage, but it was selling their children in exchange for land to a man that their daughter probably didn't even want to marry. So there is some liberation in the concept that Nick is talking about, but it also is tied in the financial capability of actually providing for the number of children that you birth. And most of us, and let's just be real, this is not to slam a brother and call our brother scrubs because they out here hustling in the system just like I am.
Fact.
It's just the fact that most black people are impoverished in this capitalistic system. And so while Nick Cannon is at the top of the hierarchy in terms of economic strata, and he can afford to have 7 baby mamas, we salute you, brother. But those of us down here, we need that check from we need that stimulus check.
Right. We're not worried about we're worried about the stimulus check.
Yeah.
He's worried about like solidifying that deal with Nickelodeon or Wilding Out or something like that, making those multi-million-dollar deals.
Right.
Now, the other thing I want to point out too is that with these women that are willing to, of course, take his seed, bring a child into the world and be cool with it, there's a difference, right? He's Nick Cannon. He's a multi-millionaire. So of course these women, that most likely, not trying to downgrade them or anything, but I'm assuming that a lot of them are models or whatever. They're kind of securing the bag. They're securing their future by bringing one of his children into the world. If you really think about it.
Well, I'm going to challenge that notion a little bit.
Go ahead.
Not that your logic is your reasoning is sound. Yeah. I see what you're saying, but if you're a person like me, you actually you want to be with people who have everything that they need so that they can make a completely informed decision that's not predicated at all on finances, right? So there is that phenomenon of money and getting the bag. I get that. That's life. That's reality. More power to everybody who's operating in that system because it is a valid way. It is a valid path out of this capitalistic white supremacist system. I don't knock it. But I do also think that there's a side of it that that you want a queen, right? You want somebody who has theirs. And I'm sure Nick, I don't know any of these women. Some of these women probably they might have money that rival his.
True. That could very well be it too. And you're right. Not trying to knock down the women that decide to say, yes, I want to have children with him. But at the same time, yes, it is a big choice to make, right? To say, yes, I'm willing to have a child with this particular man, knowing that he's having other children with other women at the same damn time. Okay. Yeah. So it does take a lot to make you step back and actually look at these women that are willing to do that and be cool with it. You see what I'm saying? Now, of course, I don't know how he's able to find all these women with the same mentality as his that are all okay with him having babies with a bunch of other women, but it's a skill. That is a skill.
See, I guess. See, that's why I said let me get off the show because I'm in the year 3000, brother. I mean, like I am in a traditional marriage and I have a Disney life. I have, my show is rated G, not my morning show, but my household. Like we have Disney, we have Bambi that runs outside of our door every morning, literally. But the truth is, Doc, whatever they want to do, they consenting adults and they can afford to raise their kids, then by all means, like y'all have a good time and raise a good generation of cannons, little Nick Cannons. Do it right. Make sure there's enough money for them to be successful. Pour all the knowledge. I mean, parenthood is rewarding. If I could afford 20 kids, listen, no, let me flip it. Mitt Romney got damn near 7 kids. I mean, like these white folks out here populating the earth, and if Nick Cannon and the women he was involved with have made their decisions as consenting adults, that is, and especially if it's not tied to any kind of, I don't know those women, but I have a sneaky suspicion some of them are bosses in themselves. So I kind of salute that. Let them do what they do.
I mean, okay, that's fine, but it does also go against the nuclear family breakdown. It most definitely does, because let's be real, he's having 7 kids, I think, at the same time right now. These 7 kids are going to come out within months of each other, and he's still got to have the energy and the time to spread that love to those kids. Not only to spread his seed, but spread his attention and energy to every single last one of those children. Do you think
he better do it? He better do it too. He better do it.
Yeah, I mean, he better. Because to me, when you sit there and go, when Nick Cannon says, "Oh, the Eurocentric ideals and so on," no. To me, I think that's BS. I call BS. I just think that is something that he just pulled out of his butt to justify why he had many children. Now, I know he's been dealing with.
Well, I mean, but there's actual factual truth to it, though, right? The entire institution of marriage in the United States was a matter of settling land disputes. It was a matter of raising taxes. Actually, let me add I missed a century or two. Marriage in the United States was a matter of taxation, not a matter of morality or structured institutions. But they chose to make it synonymous with the evangelical kind of puritanical worldview that you're talking about in terms of the nuclear family. All that was rooted in their desire to create an economic system and use taxation as a means, and marriage was one of those taxation methods.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. So, okay, then I understand that piece, right? But when it comes to what it is now, what it has evolved into is now a structure, right, of the parental units, 2.5 kids, household, etc. Right? This is obviously shaking that very foundation of what is being instilled within this entire country or throughout this entire world. What we've known forever, right, is that you find your spouse, you get married, you have kids, and you live together, you see them grow, and you die. And then that's it. And then the saga continues, the cycle continues on and on and on. This obviously goes against that completely. And basically it's his way of saying, hey, and like I said, it's his, this is his world. You know what I mean? The world he lives in is his world. He can do whatever the hell he damn well please. But at the same time, I do feel that it
does sound like the Yeo standard talk game. I tell you that much, though. Yeah. It is something you would hear on any corner street. I tell you that.
It's like, you're not allowed. We're not supposed to be doing this, y'all. And it's like, well, wait a second. How many kids you got? 15 from 5 women. You're like, there it is.
How many of you take care of?
Yeah,
none. But you know what? I'm sorry. I'm so used to throwing that joke out. The fact is black fathers are taking care of their kids at a higher rate than other demographics. Just want to make sure while we laugh and I didn't play into that stereotype.
I appreciate you throwing that in. You know what I'm saying? And but the thing is that we don't have those facts being thrust out into the zeitgeist right now. We don't. We are always hearing about deadbeat dads.
That's
dads having 15 some odd kids with 15 baby mamas all at the same damn time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're hearing those stories all the time, but we never hear about the black man, the black father being there and being a pillar.
That's right.
Of structure and when it comes to child rearing and upbringing their children. We always hear about the mama, but we never hear anything about the papa, and that's weird.
And I want to vouch for Nick Cannon in one regard.
Go ahead.
I don't know anything about Nick Cannon other than listening to his description of how he interacts with his children. I can confirm that children have that effect on black men, probably on anybody, but definitely on black men. Like the greatest joy in my life is with my children. So from that perspective, I believe I'm confident that that Nick is not only going to birth the kids or plant the seed for the kids and pay for the kids, but it sounds like he wants that emotional attachment that allows him to relive his youth. Because I'm reliving my youth through my kids right now.
And I don't have any children, but I can only imagine, what you go through. You get to see them with fresh eyes, go through those things again. You're like, I remember that stuff.
That's
Except now it just has a whole bunch of bells and whistles on it. You know what I'm saying?
And Wi-Fi.
And Wi-Fi. Exactly. It's Bluetooth. You know what I'm saying? But I see what you're saying. I mean, and also at the same time, like, I know that he probably thinks that his expiration date on this planet is coming up soon. So
that's right.
He's feeling like I need to bring life into the world as quickly as possible, because I know he battles lupus. So I feel like his mortality is always at dangling in the distance with him. So that's making him, like, inspiring him to bring as many children as he can into the world as well. And like I said before, that this is his prerogative and all that. I just think that the what he said was just a bit of it's a stretch. It's a stretch. But
I mean, I feel you on that. And it's but it was a great clip, though. I tell you that much. It was
yeah, because it's a great discussion piece, regardless of where you stand on it. It's kind of like, that's an interesting perspective on this whole thing, But sure. Benjamin, I want to say, Benjamin Dixon of the Benjamin Dixon Show, or Like It or Not. I want to say a big thank you for being on today. That it really does mean a lot, bruh. Like, it really means a lot.
Pleasure's mine, man. Let's stay in touch, and we're gonna get you over there and kick it with us on the show one of these days.
I'd be honored, man. I'd be honored.
Take care, brother. Thanks
you
for having
too,
me.
my man. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Man, what a great show so far. We do have one more piece, one more thing to talk about. If you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. If you like that conversation, you see what I'm saying. Please go over to the Benjamin Dixon channel and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. He's got a really great show. His starts an hour before mine. So, hop on over there, take a look, take a listen, enjoy the vibes, enjoy the conversations, and then, come on over to the show. Don't forget to come over to my little old show and have a conversation with me as well. But anyway, we got to go into this next story. It's our last story of the day. And it is something that I have to ask you guys, because
that's the dream you selling.
What?
Wow.
Hold up.
So the women
This
that
thing is losing his mind. Okay, sorry about that. Now the thing is there's this other big story. Like, lately, I don't know why, but everybody's getting their, recently everybody's getting their Dr. Dre on. I'll just say that, okay? So Quentin Tarantino recently was in a podcast, and he basically said that he ain't giving his mama no monies, okay? He ain't with it. He ain't about that life. All because of what his mom said to him when he was a child. He made a promise to himself that when he became big and successful, that he would not give his mother not one dime. I am not kidding. We got to look at this story real quick. To me, this is wild. Okay, but let's get into this story, shall we? So, Quentin Tarantino vowed never to give his mom money. Okay, after she yelled at him for writing scripts. Like, the young kid, aspiring writer, filmmaker, wanted to do his thing, live his life like it's golden. He can't even do that. Why? Because he got a mama telling him he ain't ish. So let's go into this. Quentin Tarantino revealed on the Moment podcast that his mother once berated him for writing screenplays in school instead of doing actual schoolwork. Like I said, this kid started early. All right. The passion was real. The director said his teachers viewed his screenwriting in class as a defiant act of rebellion. So they contacted his mom, who scolded him because she had, quote unquote, a hard time with his scholastic non-ability. So this is from the actual podcast. He said, she was bitching at me about that. And then in the middle of her little tirade, she said, oh, and by the way, this little writing career with finger quotes and everything, this little writing career that you're doing, that ish is effing over, Tarantino said. She meant you just can't do that in class when you should be doing something else. Tarantino retaliated by making a promise to himself. When she said that to me, in that sarcastic way, I was in my head and I go, okay, lady, when I become a successful writer, you will never see a penny. You will never see penny one from my success. There will be no house for you. There will be no vacation for you. No Elvis Cadillac from mommy. You get nothing because you said that. When asked if Tarantino stuck to his vow, the director responded, yeah. I helped her out with a jam with the IRS, but no house, no Cadillac, no house. The director added, there are consequences for your words as you deal with your children. Remember, there are consequences for your sarcastic tone about what's meaningful to them. So, here it is, y'all. You see it right there. Quentin Tarantino ain't nothing to F with. He ain't playing at all. Mama came out, said some things to him, made him feel some type of way, y'all. Made him feel some type of way. And he said, Mama ain't getting nothing from me. I don't care how hard she tries. He helped her a little bit when it came to the IRS, probably some back taxes or something like that. But then after that, boom, nothing else. Nothing else. He said no house, no car, no nothing. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think? This is your mama, okay? Let me just say that again. This is your mother, okay? This woman brought you into this world. And I'm sure she said a million times, I will take you out while disciplining that ass. Here's the thing. You got a mom that's just trying to make sure that you get your education. And if you're writing screenplays in school rather than doing your actual homework, I can see a mom or a parent trying to discipline their child. Basically saying, hey, you need to get your head out of the clouds and focus on this work. Focus on schoolwork so you can go into your screenwriting or go into movies and all that. Now, I get it. Some parents are just asses. I get it. Some parents don't know how to say things, you know? Parents just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Fresh Prince. I get it. There's a lot of people that feel some type of way about their parents berating them, belittling their dreams. But then after that, you say, I will show you. You will learn. You're going to learn something in 20 years that I'm going to be a success. But you don't automatically say, I ain't giving you not one penny, and then actually do that. This is the mother that brought you into the world. Now, this is the same thing that happened with Dr. Dre, right? Dr. Dre, not the same thing, but Dr. Dre, his daughter was out here talking crazy stuff, basically saying, oh, she's homeless. She's staying in a rental car. She's sleeping and living in a rental car. She lives in LA. She's expecting some money, right? She's expecting money from Dr. Dre. And I said it like this. Hey, I'm sure you probably rode the hell out of your dad till he had enough. Now, I don't know the full scope of that story either, but at the same time, at some point, the father or the parent needs to look at the kid and go, okay, it's time for you to leave the nest and be independent. You can't lean on me all the time. Now you got a mother that's been raising you from birth until you leave the nest yourself, who is maybe giving you, like I said, we don't know the full scope. Could be tough love or could be her being abusive. We don't know. But your grades are going down. She maybe thinks that your head is in the clouds and she's just trying to bring you back down. Now, I'm not justifying her squashing any boy's dreams, but I think this is a little extreme. Don't you think? Don't you think? In my personal opinion, I feel like this is a little much. Just a little much. This is the woman that brought you into the world. Now, like I said, we don't know the full story, right? We don't know the full story. She could have been abusive, all that. This could have been years of her saying, you're not going to amount to nothing. You're never going to be a screenwriter. You're never going to get in the movie business, blah, blah, blah. That could very well be it too. But then you become successful. This woman brought you life. She gave you the gift of life. I feel like this is such a it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that, I mean, if this was my mother, doesn't matter. At some point, if I'm proving her wrong, if she said 20 years ago, I don't know, 20 some odd years ago, she said, you're not gonna be successful, but you say, hey, I'm gonna prove to you otherwise, and then you do that. Your mother's gonna change her tune. When she starts seeing you succeed, she's going, I'm proud of you, son. I didn't think you had it in you, right? But suddenly you're not like nothing. You got hundreds of millions of dollars and nothing. I don't know. With your mother? Seems weird. Seems really, really weird to me. I was hoping that T was going to come back on, but he's not on with us right now. But, like I said, it's a weird thing. Like I said, and August said, so daughters' lives don't matter. No, daughters' lives do matter. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm trying to say is, if you're a parent, you do everything you can to make sure that your children don't need nothing, never want for nothing, right? That's what you do as a parent. And as you get older, eventually, hopefully, the roles will reverse, right? The daughter or the son, your child, ends up taking care of you as time goes on. I mean, that's just how it is. Real talk. That's how life is. That's what happens. You bring these children into the world. You raise them. They go to college or whatever. They build their own family. They do whatever they need to do. But as you get older, there's certain things that you can't physically do anymore. Can't go to work as much, so on and so forth, right? So then next thing you know, the people that you raised are starting to help you or starting to take care of you. That's usually how it goes down. That's how it's supposed to go down. But in this particular situation, he's not helping her at all. That one time. He helped her in that one time. I think it's weird. The whole purpose of, when you raise your child is to let that child move on and grow. And he or she is not sucking on the teat of that household anymore. They leave the nest, right? And they grow and they live life. That's how it's supposed to be. Not, I'm going to stay and milk every single dollar I can out of my multi-million-dollar dad. And then when he cuts me off, as parents do at some point, whether it is at 18 years old or 38 years old, they go and do a public, make it a public thing. That's another conversation. And I don't think that was right. Trying to bite the hand that was feeding her for a while. But when it comes to Quentin Tarantino's mom, the mother raised you. Sure, she said something, but what parents are not perfect all the time. But like I said, I don't know the full story. I don't know the full scope. We don't know if he was abused as a child or anything like that, or if this was just that one time she said that thing and it made him feel some type of way. And he said, I'm never going to forget this. That could be it too. But T's in the house. I want to hear your thoughts on this, man. What are your thoughts?
Hey, sorry. Yeah, it's really hard for me to understand someone holding a grudge or resentment for, I guess, 40 some odd years. It's these topics and these pains really divide families, unfortunately, and it's so tough to see someone at this public height, someone who's like, he has a cult following, to not hold down family values, and not to give back to his mother. The only thing that I read about him was that he did help her with her issues with the IRS and taxes. So I think he helped her with that. That was it. But as far as him like splurging on his mother, buying her a home, buying her a car, taking her on vacations or whatever, he's not doing that at all. He's totally resents her for the way that she berated him when he was trying to be a writer. Now, a part of me is thinking like maybe, and this is just me, thinking maybe a part of her was thinking that the way I can motivate my son is by telling him what he doesn't want to hear. Because some people are motivated by like a challenge or whatever it may be. So if she thought maybe if I was hard on him enough, he can push past this barrier and be successful. If he can withstand my critique on him, maybe he can actually be uber successful by not giving a crap about what the world says about his work. So that could work that way. I'm not saying it's true, but it's possible that was her motivating factor or tool.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said before, we don't know the full scope of the story, of how she was as a mother or as a parent. She could have been a real jerk. That could be it too. Just stop having your head in the clouds and focus on school and blah, blah, blah. But that's what parents are supposed to do. Parents are supposed to sit there and discipline and say, hey, focus, wake up, be a part of this, be a part of class. Don't flunk out. I want you to succeed. So I see that piece. But yeah, if she said something that was like, upset her, said anything that upset him, then I understand that piece too. But like I said, it shouldn't be this ongoing grudge. Now, here's the thing though, that fire that lit under his ass could have been the thing that got him over the hump, right? But then you should look at that as a blessing and say, okay, I appreciate that I put this goal in my mind and I stuck with it, right? But this also is your mother. I'm not sitting here saying showering them with millions and millions of dollars, but you take care of them. That's your family. That's the woman that brought you into the world. That's your mother, for crying out loud. I mean, obviously that's just what I think. I mean, I just think that there's certain things that are necessary, right? Like when you are a parent and you're bringing a child into this world and you're raising this child, there's a certain amount of responsibility that you have to a certain extent, right? To a certain extent. But after some time, there are things such as tough love that does exist. Some people do tough love. Some people just spoil the kids rotten, right? They just say, well, what do you need? Who do I make this check out to? And that's it. They shower the children with money instead of actually parenting, with raising that child and showing them the right things to do and what not to do. There are a lot of parents that do that. And then, of course, there's a lot of parents out there that are just asses that don't know anything about how to raise a child. Now, that could have been the situation with him, or he could have just been a hypersensitive young boy that is clearly fueled with a lot of anger. I mean, if you've seen him on red carpet events and stuff, I mean, there's viral videos of him losing his mind on people for real. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that, yeah, Puffin just said, QT equals petty. I think that with this situation, he pretty damn petty. He Tom Petty up in this piece. That's what I think. So, and so, like I said, when it comes to the Dr. Dre situation, there's a certain level of being there for your child. But at some point, you got to let them go and figure it out. They can't just keep abusing your financials just because they can. At some point, you got to step back and go, okay, son, honey, whatever. It's time for you can't lean on me anymore. You need to figure this out. I'll give you a little cushion, but you need to go and figure it out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, in my personal opinion. I really don't. So, anyway, we got to jump into this next story. Okay? And this one's a little bit of a left turn. My internet is a little crappy right now. Hopefully it bounces back up. Hopefully it does. Okay. But there's a video that I wanted to show you guys. And this is now for something completely different. Enjoy. Yeah. Yeah, you're going, what? What did I just see? Don't worry. We're going to play it again so you can see it. This is real. Woman passed out in a subway train with a mouse or, a New York rat eating whatever the hell is coming out her mouth. Like I said, what in the hell? But welcome.
That's Governor Cuomo's rat.
That is who does that though? Like what was so good that was in her mouth though? Like what was in her mouth that was so good?
Wow.
Is she wearing she's wearing a Wu-Tang Clan?
Wu-Tang Clan. Does not endorse this. Does not endorse this.
She's wearing a Wu-Tang Clan. Oh, bruh. This is yeah. She's apparently she is someone to F with. Because look at her.
Whatever she took, drinking or injection, whatever. Was it worth it? I don't know.
Yep. King Timma just said, yep, another day in New York. Yep. Welcome to New York, y'all. Girl, full on knocked the F out. Woo. Full on knocked out. Okay. And this rat is all up in that mouth. That is nasty. And what's crazy to me is like, I got to be honest, like, why didn't anybody come up and say like, or wake her up, or at least shake her or something? Do you know how nasty that is? Like that is a disease-ridden rodent eating that girl's mouth, and they're just letting it be what it is, just chilling in the cut. That person is just filming this woman knock the F out with a rat in her mouth.
This should be a PSA for kids in school. to never do drugs or alcohol.
Don't do drugs. No, see, I don't know if that's alcohol. I think that's more than just alcohol. You're out like that? I mean, well, it depends on how much you're drinking. But real talk, you're out like that, though? Really?
Jeez.
That's insane, y'all. That's gross. It's grody. Let's keep it real. That's grody. Okay? Don't do that, kids. Don't do drugs. Don't do. Nat A just said, don't do meth. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Trust me. You'll thank us later. Just don't do it. Okay? That's so nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kiki at 5. That's hilarious. Rat saying, you're going to be my 7th baby mama, girl. I'm done. I'm done. But you wonder why. Like, I don't know. I don't know what was so tantalizing in her mouth. But that's some sad stuff. And the funny thing is that there are more and more videos like that kind of circulating around where they have just people who are just passed out in the middle, just in the middle of nowhere, subway trains, out in the middle of like grassy knolls, just passed out because they're on meth or they're on some crazy drug, heroin, just crazy amounts of these drugs, these narcotics that people are just wasting their lives away on. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, man.
The sad part is like no one helped her. Like she's laying there passed out.
Like I said, yeah.
No one picked her up, put her on the seat. Nothing.
No one cared. Bruh, no one cared. No one gave a damn about her. And it's like, y'all, that woman needs help. Someone help her. That should not be happening. What we just saw should not be happening. Real talk. That's gross. Okay? Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Okay? Don't do drugs. It's nasty. Okay? But anyway, guys, that is the show. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who came on. T, thank you so much for jumping on and being a part of the conversation today. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, always a pleasure.
Thank you. Kiki at 5. Ratatouille. You know what? He was probably trying to find that secret ingredient. You know what I'm saying? That was Ratatouille. He was trying to find that secret ingredient for his for that soup or whatever the hell he does in Ratatouille. He makes something. I forgot what it's called. It's some really nice dish. I forgot what it is. It's a soup, I think. Right? In Ratatouille? I forgot.
I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Kiki at 5 might know. She said Ratatouille, so you must know. You must know, girl. Speak on it. Damn. Love to hear your thoughts on it. But anyway. T, thank you so much for being on, my dude. I really do appreciate it.
Yes. Yeah, I'll see you guys maybe Thursday, maybe Friday.
Thursday. If you can come through on Thursday, that'd be dope. Okay, that would be really, really great. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is I might be on this evening. I will let you guys know in the community page and on Discord. I'll give you guys a heads up on what we are doing and all that. That's the dish's name? Oh, he makes ratatouille. That's what it is. Okay, thank you. He does make ratatouille.
Duh moment, right? Duh.
Bruh. Wait a second. Hold up. Hold up. I just got something from Drobo. Hold up. Before we leave, if this is true, hold on. Wait, what? They're calling? Wait. Drobo said he just resigned. Where's that? I don't see it anywhere. Wait. Where is it? They're holding a live press conference? He is? Hold up, guys. We got to do a hard cut on this song. Why does this always happen when I think I'm done? Okay, sorry. I just had to get that out of my system. Damn it. All right, hold up. Apparently, Cuomo is resigning right now as we speak. I didn't know if this was true. We're about to find out. I'm just trying to find the video. It streamed 14 minutes ago. Is it still streaming? Let's see. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get all this stuff together.
At us. Fires, floods, hurricanes, superstorms, and pandemics. We balanced the state budget and we got it done on time.
Hold on,
more
guys.
than any other administration, because government should work and perform. Free college tuition for struggling families. Nobody in this state will be denied their college dream because of their income. We have built new airports, rail, transit, roads all across this state faster and better than ever before. And more than any state in the nation. The most effective green economy program in the nation. We did more for Black and Latino families than any other administration. We did more for working families. We did more for our union brothers and sisters. We did more to battle racism and anti-Semitism. Today, so much of the politics is just noise, just static. And that's why people tune it out. What matters is actually improving people's lives. And that's what you did. You made this state a better state for the generations that follow. What? And that is undeniable, inarguable, and true, even in these ugly, crazy times. I thank Speaker Carl Heastie and Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins for their leadership. And let me say this on a personal note. In many ways, I see the world through the eyes of my daughters, Cara, Mariah, and Michaela. They are 26 and 26, twins, and 23. And I have lived this experience with and through them. I have sat on the couch with them, hearing the ugly accusations for weeks. I have seen the look in their eyes.
Is this real?
And the expression on their faces. And it hurt. I want my three jewels to know this. My greatest goal is for them to have a better future than the generations of women before them. It is still in many ways a man's world. It always has been. We have sexism that is culturalized and institutionalized. My daughters have more talent and natural gifts than I ever had. I want to make sure that society allows them to fly as high as their wings will carry them. There should be no assumptions, no stereotypes, no limitations. I want them to know from the bottom of my heart that I never did and I never would intentionally disrespect a woman or treat any woman differently than I would want them treated. And that is the God's honest truth. Your dad made mistakes and he apologized and he learned from it. And that's what life is all about. And I know the political process is flawed, and I understand their cynicism and distrust and disappointment now. But don't give it up, because government is still the best vehicle for making positive social change. Lastly, I want to remind all New Yorkers of an important lesson, and one that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. And that's what you New Yorkers did in battling COVID. The enemy landed in New York State. COVID launched the attack here. It came on planes from Europe, and we had no idea. It was an ambush. And it was up to New Yorkers to fight back. We were on our own, and it was war. Nurses, doctors, essential workers became our frontline heroes. Hospitals became the battlegrounds. Streets were still, and sirens filled the city's silence. Trailers carried the bodies of our fallen brothers and sisters. But you refused to give up, And you fought back, and you won, going from the highest infection rate in the nation to one of the lowest. No one thought we could do it, but you did it. You led the nation, and you showed the way forward. And how you did it is what's most important. You did it together. Not as Black New Yorkers or white New Yorkers, not as LGBTQ New Yorkers or straight New Yorkers or Democrats or Republicans or upstate or downstate or Jewish, Muslim, Protestant or Catholic New Yorkers, but as one community, one family, the family of New York. You overcame the naysayers and the haters and the fear and the division, and you unified and you rose and you overcame. And you saved lives. And that was powerful in its effect. It was beautiful to see. And it was an honor to lead. Please remember that lesson. Hold it dear and hold it up high for this nation to see, because it is New York State at her finest, creating her legacy, fulfilling her destiny, giving life and animation to the lady in the harbor, saying, Excelsior, we can be better, we can reach higher, and proclaiming E pluribus unum, out of many one, unity, community, love. That is our founding premise and our enduring promise. And that is the salvation of this nation that it so desperately needs to hear.
Oh, boy.
Thank you.
Okay.
For the honor of serving you. It has been the honor of my lifetime. God bless you.
Wow. That really just happened. Okay. There you have it, y'all. Cuomo is resigning. That is wild, y'all. Yeah. I don't even really have much to say. Clearly he needed to resign, especially after everything that was going on. So that's interesting how we were able to wrap the show up. Like, we just bookended the show, right? We started with Cuomo and we're ending with Cuomo. And there you have it, y'all. Andrew Cuomo, Governor Andrew Cuomo, is resigning. He is stepping down. And it's because him guilty. I'm sorry. But the man guilty. Okay? And it's about damn time that he finally comes to terms with it. But there you go. Breaking news right now. Governor Andrew Cuomo resigns. From my understanding, because we missed the very beginning of it, but from my understanding, he's resigning within 14 days. This is at least what I'm reading in the chat. Shout out to the family for being so amazing. Thank you guys for giving us the news. You know what I'm saying? But what a way to end the show today. Holy cow. Andrew Cuomo, again, resigning. You know, wait, actually, you know what? I'm going to pause this song again. Like I do this. I'm doing this a lot today, but hey, you know what? The question I have here, though, with this situation, Andrew Cuomo resigning and all that, Governor Andrew Cuomo resigning, I wonder what's going to happen to his brother, Chris Cuomo, CNN, Chris Cuomo. Just curious. Is he going to get in, is he going to be caught in the wake of this resignation, of these allegations as well? Or no? That's something I'd like to know too. There's something else that somebody else said in the comment section in the chat as well. So this happens with Cuomo, and yet we still got Matt Gaetz out here at large. I just want to point that out because that's a very good point. You know, even Marley X just said it too. You know, let me pull up right here. Marley X just said, "What about Gaetz?" Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I would like to know what about Gaetz as well. Okay, Mother Lover needs to be indicted on something. He needs to be brought in on something. There are too many things that are going through that are being presented for what he has done, and still yet nothing has happened. So I'm interested to see what happens. Oh, and here's the other thing, because Roberta on Facebook, hi Roberta, thank you so much for the comment on Facebook. She said, "What about Trump?" You know what? Trump gonna get his. Oh, don't you worry. Trump gonna get his. Gates is gonna get his. Like I said, hey, Cuomo, it took a damn near year for him to sit there and go, "I'm resigning." Remember when the allegations first came out and he said, "I'm not resigning, I'm not doing anything." And what happened? He stayed on for a whole damn year. So these processes, okay, take time. It's not going to be that easy to just go and get Trump or go and get Gates. They got to find the cases. They got to find cases to put on them. The only reason why Cuomo is stepping down in 14 days is because Attorney General Letitia James has incriminating evidence showing that he's been a bad, bad boy. If she did not have any of that information, any of that evidence, he'd still be governor. He would not be doing this kind of speech, sitting there going, "I love you guys and God bless New York City and America and blah, blah, blah." Nah, he wouldn't be resigning. He'd still be up there having a good old time doing exactly what he'd been doing for the past year. So there you have it, y'all. Andrew Cuomo is stepping down in 14 days. He has resigned. By the way, his resignation to me, personally, to me shows an admission to guilt. Just saying it out loud. I know there's other people that will disagree wholeheartedly with what I'm saying right now. But this is proof positive. This is proof positive that he did something bad. Instead of, I'm not leaving. One of his aides that's been with him for years just stepped down yesterday, if I'm correct. Just stepped down. Someone who's worked next to him, his right hand, basically, for years, stepped down yesterday. The accusations are starting to come out, period. And sure, Puffin said something that's true. He is still denying it, not apologizing. Absolutely. And that's going to be his MO until the end of time. Like, it's going to be forever. He's going to keep denying this until forever. Because he still has to live life. Or until the incriminating evidence that shows that without a shadow of a doubt that he was doing very, very bad things surfaces out for the public to see with their own two eyes. Once that evidence is out for everyone, for the public, it's a wrap, son. It's a wrap. But like I said, he's stepping down. To me, him resigning shows an admission of guilt. That's what I think. T, really quick, what do you think?
Guilty. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. Like I was saying before, I mean, it has to be enough evidence to convict him. And I think he knows, like, damn, like, they got me. So yeah,
it's a wrap, son.
It's a wrap.
He out. He tucked up the deuces. He out. He be out. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. We're definitely gonna see what happens here. But like I said, if you're going to resign, and like I said last year, when it was like last year, right? When he was sitting there, when all these accusations came out, and they were asking him, demanding him to resign, and he said, "I'm not resigning because I did nothing wrong. I may have done a little something and a little something here, but I didn't do anything wrong." Then Letitia James, Attorney General Letitia James finds information, finds evidence that shows that he was bad. Now women are stepping out. These accusers are coming out. These victims are coming out. And now he steps forward and goes, I'm out. I'm sorry, guys. I got to resign. In 14 days, I'm out of office. Because he did a very bad thing. He did a very, very bad thing. Like I said, his resignation is a full-on bold-face admission of guilt. Anyway, that is the show, officially the mother-loving show. We're going to do this song one more time. Why? Because I like it. It makes me feel tropical. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel like I'm on a beach enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? Just, yeah. Pina coladas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Margaritas. Something. You know, something with an umbrella in it. You feel me? But anyway, thank you all for being on. Didn't know that was popping off, but shout out to Drobo Not for giving us that information before we left. I really do appreciate that. I'm glad that we were able to wrap this show up in a nice little bow, or as Anthony Brian Logan would say, nice little bow on top. Let's roll the film. So just want to say a big thank you to everybody. If you guys don't know who Anthony Brian Logan is, you might want to check him out. I mean, I don't agree with anything he says, but at the same time, the way he talks is funny to me. You know what I mean? Wrap it on up with a bow on top. Let's roll the film. So anyway,
you got a shout out from Paul Graves, by the way.
Paul Graves?
Yeah.
Where's that? I don't see it.
It's a purple P. A little further up.
Oh, Paul Graves, thank you. We love you back. Thank you so much for saying you love the show. Thank you, Paul Graves. And yeah, so we got to do the shameless plugs really, really quick. I got to do these, okay? If you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. That would really mean a lot. Hit it down below. And then also, don't forget to crush that subscribe button. We do this show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, okay? And I do an evening show, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing that one tonight. But please, I got some things I got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm busy. I be busy up in this piece, y'all. I'm trying to juggle all these nuts in the air. You know what I mean? Nuts. The nut juice. Nobody remember that. Neither do I. It's okay. But anyway, be sure to hit that like button, crush that subscribe button, and also hit that join button down below, okay? $4.99 a month. Helps fuel this show so we can keep giving you your controversies, your conversations, your pop culture for the day. Okay? That would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, it is time to get going, y'all. All right? Stay blessed out there. I love all your faces. And I'll see you guys soon. All right? Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. See you guys soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.